We are here with Double A News. I'm Andy Deichel, and this is my partner.
I'm Alexis Chamberlain, and I'm here with Andrew Beckett and Joe Miller, just coming right out of the courtroom.
Mr. Beckett, can we get a quick interview about the case you just won?
No, I'm sorry. We don't really have time. We just want a big case, and he needs to get home.
Sorry. I didn't realize your name was Mr. Beckett. I was asking him.
No, Mr. Miller, please. We have time. This is a groundbreaking case for all, and they deserve to hear what happened.
Awesome. Can you tell a little bit about our viewers about your case?
Well, it all started a few days ago, right before the end of a big legal case, our firm's biggest actually. I had won it, and it was all headed right, and then the statute of limitations was due the next day. So that night, I left a file of it on my computer, and I left the paper sitting right on my desk. Next morning, I wasn't feeling too well. Called in, said I wasn't going to come in. Then later in the day, I received a bunch of phone calls. It was absolute chaos there at the office. The files were missing off my computer, and the papers were nowhere to be found. So I was calling around, I was rushing, getting ready. I wasn't feeling too well, so I really had to get there quickly. And right as I got there, suddenly I had a call, and they said that right before they were due, they were found in an old case file. So I found that a little ironic that right before they were due, they were found in an old case file misplaced from where I had never put them. So it was a few days before that a board member had seen a lesion on my forehead, and I believe that this is what caused them to try to sabotage me, because the following day, even with the winning of the case, they called me in and they fired me right there.
Wow. Absolutely stunning. And rejoining the interview, we have my partner Alexis Chamberlain, who's got some breaking news.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be back. So, Mr. Beckett, please tell us a little bit about your workplace experience.
Well, before the lesions were found, work was great. I was moving up in the company really quickly, had a great meeting with the board members, and I was really moving far up. Everybody seemed to really enjoy my presence. I enjoyed every day at work. It was just always a pleasure. But like I said, after the lesions were found, it all went downhill from there. Nobody seemed to want to help me, and everything was just a blame game on me. So, sadly, it went downhill.
Yes, I see.
Can you tell us a little bit about the process of finding a strong, solid lawyer?
Well, that was actually the most difficult part of all this. I knew, being a man with AIDS, it's looked down upon right now in society, and so going around, I actually cycled through over 40 lawyers before I found Mr. Miller. And even at first, Mr. Miller, he wasn't all up for that idea. It wasn't until later that he finally came around and, really helped me out, said he would help me, because I was going to have to do this all on my own.
Wow, a stand-up guy.
So, Mr. Miller, did you have any moral complications when you were deciding to take this case?
Yes. I was very hesitant to take it at first, just because representing a man with AIDS was not the social norm, and just with my own morals, I didn't exactly think it was the right thing. But when I saw that he needed help, I thought it would be the best thing to do, and that justice is more important than stereotypes.
That's really great of you. Mr. Beckett, how did you feel when Mr. Miller decided to represent you? Can you talk about that?
Well, I was just happy to really have somebody take me seriously. I wanted to really feel in charge and make my own decisions. And having him there, it really helped me out, helped me move along. Great guy.
That's great.
Mr. Miller, let me ask, what made you officially decide to represent Mr. Beckett in this very difficult case?
He asked me to represent him once before, and I turned him down. And then I was in the library one day, and I was just working on another case, and I overheard a worker in the library ask him if he wanted to move into a private room, and he turned him down. And I saw this happening, so I felt bad, and I wanted to be a good person and help him out.
All right. When did you know during the case that you were going to win?
Well, the part that I really knew that we had really gone ahead on this case was when it was looking down. The other lawyer, she had came up, pulled out a mirror, and asked that the day of when I had said the other board members seen the lesion on my head, she stood about 4 feet away from me and held up the mirror and said, "Can you see the lesion in the mirror on your head right now?" And the lesion had actually faded on my head, so it was a no. I had to say no. And then it was looking bad. The jury all was looking like, oh, there's no way the board member could have seen it then. But then Mr. Miller here, he stood up, took the mirror, and he said, asked me, do you have any lesions on your body at this moment that represented the one on your face at the time? I said, yes, on my torso. He asked the judge if it would be appropriate if I could remove my shirt, and the judge allowed it. So when I did, the jury and everyone saw the lesions all across my chest, and there's a lot of them, and I could see them in the mirror then.
All right, I think that's it, folks. Now back to Phil in Philadelphia for the weather.